Hello and welcome to our IEEE live stream today, Idea to Product, a research pathway for students. This event is produced in collaboration with IEEE Collabratec, the global community platform for IEEE. Today, we are fortunate to have a very distinguished speaker with us, Ramneek Kalra, IEEE Impact Creator and Professional Development Coordinator with IEEE Young Professional Delhi section, as well as a mentor of change at AIM. Without further ado, I will hand it over to Ramneek to get us started.
Thank you so much, Linda, for your wonderful, warm invitation and introduction. Very good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending upon your time zone you have joined us on the live stream. So let's get started on the session without any delay. And there we go. So I personally welcome and to everyone from part of the world, wherever you are joining us today. And I am blessed to initiate this talk and share my views on Idea to Product, a research pathway for students. That's an IEEE USA ebook, which I recently published. So before getting started to the session, I would like to invite every one of you to join me through a new Chrome tab or somewhere browser you are using or from your mobile device. Just open in your browser, menti.com, and just type 98291910. Once you join, just tap the, I would say, I will able to see the number of members who have joined us on the slide deck. Feel free to join. We will take 1 or 2 minutes gap here. And once joined, please feel free to answer the query. What are your expectations from today's session? So I will able to relate the slide deck accordingly, and I would love to share the views according to your expectation. Go ahead, let's see. Just open a new Chrome tab or a new browser tab from your smart device or from your laptop or system. Just mention menti.com and mention the code which is shown on the top of the screen, 98291910. And answer the question, what are your expectations from today's session? Come on, let's see. We're going to bring up a first response on to this question, and let's break the ice and let's get started to the session. Feel free to mention if you are not able to connect on. There we go. We have the first response, career advice. Thank you so much. Let's see who comes up with other expectation. How to create a product. That's really nice. Thank you so much. We'll surely cover that aspect. Insight. Thank you. That's really wonderful. I would love to see the proactive participation in today's talk so that the talk won't be so much boring. Otherwise, it would be so boring, I will be sleeping in front of the camera. So feel free to participate proactively. Product development. That's great. Thank you. New knowledge. Okay. Best practices of idea, research process, great ideas. Okay. I'm sure you're going to find it on your own. I will tell you some techniques, how you can find an idea around you and how you can convert into a prototype, into a product through the process of research-based learning. There we go. How to create a product, learn about patenting. Okay. I'm sure I will cover that overview as well. Okay, let's begin to the next slide. So select your category. Are you a student, researcher, industrialist, professor, or if you don't fall in any of the categories, just select other. That will help me out to understand my audience, and I will try to deliver the content in the same way. Okay, we have 5 student members on the call. 1 researcher, okay. 6 students now, 1 other, okay. There we go. The count of the student members are increasing, and that's what I was expecting because the talk is very much related to student member community. And obviously, researcher, industrialist, professor, and other category will surely able to get some new knowledge, new resources from IEEE as well as IEEE Collabratec. Okay, that's nice figure. We have 11 students, 6 researchers, 1 industrialist, 2 professor, and 4 category in other. Let's see, 24 people have joined us so far. Okay. Perfect. Okay, we have 7 researchers now, 2 professor, 2 industrialists. That's nice. Feel free to put your remarks in the chat window in the QA tool on IEEE.tv as well. If you haven't joined on menti.com, okay, we have 14 student members now, 3 industrialists. That's really nice to know because I personally get motivation about this idea to product from my colleagues itself at my workplace. So that's really great. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, 15 members, student. Okay, let's kickstart to the next slide. Have you written a research paper before? Yes or no? Just go ahead and quickly answer it. Have you written a research paper before or not? Don't worry if you haven't, I would say, written a research paper before, because we are going to discuss about it in very detailed manner. What are the different parts, how you can write a research paper from beginning, what are the different resources provided by IEEE, as well as I will be sharing one surprise community in the slide deck. So be tied to the last of the session. Okay, we have 12 people who have written a research paper before. It's fine if you haven't published, but you have written, so you can select yes. It's written. Have you written a research paper before or not? Okay, that's nice figure. I would say around 50-50. Let's see who's coming next. 25 people have joined us so far. Okay, 14 people have already written a research paper before. That's nice. Okay, there we go. We have a race now. 15 is to 15. Okay, 16 is to 15. Okay, that's nice. Nice to see my audience is well equipped by research paper writing. So it would be more easier for me to deliver the content, and I would be glad that you can remarks or share some remarks on the QA tool so that it can help other members on the call as well as me to take your insights from it. Okay, 22 people have already written research paper. Okay. Perfect. So let's begin ahead. Coming back to the slide. So what we are going to discuss today. So we will be discussing about overview of project-based learning, how you can find a problem statement and a solution around you, and choosing the right team and technology. Like there are many scenarios we don't understand. Like if you are a final undergrad student, so you must be like, okay, I want to build a project. How should I choose my right teammates? How should I choose a right tech stack? So that's we're going to cover on the slide deck soon. Then the main important part in project-based learning and research paper writing is in-depth research or literature survey. That's the, I would say, one of the steps where many of the members step out from research paper writing and they are like, oh no, research paper is not cup of my, I would say, not my cup of tea. So that's not a problem. We're gonna cover a very, I would say, very lightweighted, and you will able to get a lot of insights, a lot of resources through today's session. Then we will cover about prototype development. So what are the different tools available, different types of tech stack you can find on, then how you can secure your idea. So there's kind of, I would say, misconception in the student community as well. Like many people don't understand about research paper, patent, and copyright. So we will be covering the overview of that as well. And in the last, we're gonna have an interactive session and QA. Okay, so this is one universal rule of the session. Don't stop asking question or interacting in the ask a question tool during the session on IEEE.tv. That's what keeps us active during the session, and you will able to understand and relate the concept from me. And I would able to learn from you as well. Okay, so that's my personal habit. When I start a session, I would like to put a quote by someone or my own quotation or my own mantra, which I used to do in project-based learning on that particular session. So I believe most innovation involves doing the things we do every day a little bit better rather than creating a completely new and different model, right? So that's one of the things what we are going to cover. We are not going to invent or we are not going to discover a new thing. We are going to take the help of what is already available in the research field, which is already available in a lot of resources, and we can invent or discover something new. Not completely new, just by using the reference what is already available, because that's innovation means. Okay, next question. Coming to the Mentimeter again. What do you mean by project-based learning? And don't worry, IEEE is all about, it's not like I am giving any marks to your semester or undergrads exam. Just feel free, right, wrong, related to project-based learning, feel free to respond back. Come back to your Chrome tab or some other browser tab where you have opened menti.com and just feel free to, okay, learning by doing stuff, that's nice. Learning by solving problems. And I hope many of you can relate the answer from the background image as well, because that's why I kept that, so that you can better understand about project-based learning flow. Okay, let's see who else comes up. Learning, okay, interaction, okay, that's nice. I hope that's going on right now with us. Let's wait for a few seconds and few minutes here so that we can get more answers from more members on the call. Learning for a long period of time in a project, okay. Learning while developing a project, okay, that's nice. Theory concepts converted into project, that's really on spot. Thank you so much for that. Learning by doing project, okay. Let's see who else comes up. Only 7 members have responded so far. Hands-on, okay, thank you. Hands-on experimental means of teaching or learning something. That's really nice. I'm really surprised to note that my audience is already equipped that particular knowledge of project-based learning. And I will also be enjoying a lot from with all of you till end of the session. Using the theoretical issues in a practical implemented project, that's great. Learning while doing, okay. Learning by hands-on exercise. Okay, that's great. You all are on spot. So let's come back to the slide deck. And that's what I would say related to the topic. Learning by doing, all of you were right. And learning by doing along the process of developing an idea to a product. And that's what we are going to talk today. So what are the different elements of converting an idea to a product or a project-based learning? The first element. Now, if you went into a, I would say, class or in your undergrad school or in your school, what you want to learn before, you need to unlearn the things what you already know and relearn the things, because technology is changing daily, right? The concepts are changing daily and you need to relearn the things again and again, because so that you can have the updated knowledge. That's one of the important element of project-based learning. Coming to the second part, and that goes with the third element as well, thinking and visualization. Now, if I say you are going to work on a project, right? So you need to think about that idea in a very proper way so that you can visualize a scenario as well, right? So once you become, I would say, once you find a problem statement, once you get an idea, okay, I have a problem about this. How can I solve using my skills? How can I use computer science skill? How can I use electrical, electronic skills, right? So that's why thinking and visualization are the two important elements of project-based learning. What's the last one, which I already mentioned in the table of content? Research survey. That's very much important. Now, let's understand in this way. Let's say I am right now in India and I'm thinking about an idea. Is it possible that no one has worked on an idea before? Really, it's impossible, right? Everyone would have worked on that idea before. If I say I'm working on an IoT home automation project, let's take a simple example. And do you think that I am only the one unique person over the planet who is working on the first onto this IoT based home automation? Obviously, no, right? A lot of things are already being designed and developed onto this particular concept. That's why depth survey and literature survey is very much important with the part of project-based learning. Okay, coming back to the next question. Come back to Menti and let's see, do you have any problem around you? I know it's unfortunate that COVID-19 is one of the biggest problem for all of us, but remove all the social issues. Try to find some of the issues in around you where you can implement your skills, where you can implement your, I would say, STEM skills. So do you have any problem around you? You can mention yes, no, or you can mention the, I would say, the problem. Maybe you are facing any issue while standing in MACD, or while you, too many problems. Okay, that's nice. So we're gonna have more innovation from you side. Yeah, poverty. Yeah, that's also one of the problem we are facing across the planet in many of the countries. What else? Do you have any problem around you? Corruption. Okay, waste and water management. Thank you so much for that. Injustice. Okay. Try to find that problem around you where you can implement your STEM skills. Maybe it can be you are a computer science undergrad student, you can apply your computer science skills. Maybe you are an electrical student, so you can apply your electrical skills there. Unemployment, okay, that's really nice. I recently found black mold on my walls. Oh, that's nice. Social network analysis, that's also true. Power sources that are clean. Right, that's really wonderful problems you are bringing it up, and that's what I was expecting from all of you on the call. Thank you so much for these remarks. What about others? Let's wait for a few minutes. Yes, don't know. Okay, no worries. We will able to find about how to find problem statement around us in the upcoming slide. Don't worry about it. Okay, yes. Okay, anyone else would like to bring up some unique problem around us? Electric car infrastructure development and power distribution. Nice. Quite a few, but which are addressable. Oh, yeah. Yes, malware is so common. Yeah, that's true. Global warming. Okay, that's kind of online classes. That's the one. That's great, on the spot answer. Political instability. Okay. Perfect. Let's find my master thesis. Wow, that's really great. Thank you so much for putting that on the slide deck. Electricity, laptop too slow. Okay, let's come back to the slide deck. Finding a problem statement and a solution by using 5 Ws, which I have introduced in my book. And let me share what are the different problems I faced during my undergrad school. So the first one, standing in a long queue for McDonald's or KFC. Obviously, many of you have faced that, right? You maybe not be going with driveway, or I would say I am standing. I was facing this issue in my first year. So I was like, I'm hungry, please give me my burger. Why you are delaying this process? And he was like, no, we are doing manually things, and our LCDs and our LEDs are not working. So we are manually giving the orders to our colleagues. So that was one of the issue which I faced. Unable to find hospitals with available COVID patient beds. That was a recent last year problem statement which we found. And many of the software and many of the websites and organizations have worked on this. So that's one of the problem statement which I addressed. And that's the one, I guess, once someone picked up that correct problem, online classes. So your teacher is not able to mark attendance digitally. So these are the problems around you itself, right? And when I did a talk in front of pre-university, they were like, no, sir, we are having a lot of things. Our teacher is not able to mark attendance digitally. Our teacher is not able to connect with us without a proper internet. Then the last one, I would like to share a story with all of you. When I was in my first semester in my bachelor's BTech, and like I just recently admitted to the college, and I was waiting for long queue in library, and I was waiting for my library card. So it was all pen and paper. They were doing all pen and paper kind of thing. They were mentioning the roll number, and then they were assigning a new card to me, a manual card, paper card. And I was like frustrated. And I went to my librarian and I was asking, sir, don't we have a kind of a software where you can scan my ID card and you can print out a new printed card in no second to me? So that was a scenario, and my librarian mentioned, yeah, sure, you go ahead to the computer science department, head of department, and he can let you know if you want to build a software. And I was very much enthusiastic because in my 11th and 12th grade, I understood about Java programming language. I hope many of you will relate if you are from computer science. And I impressed him, sir, this is what I know. This is how I can set up a software. This is how I can set up a database, and I can link together, and I can deploy this software in a library, so that everyone in the college network can access to that. And they can download the ebooks, assignments, and can check out the available books right now in the library on the real time. So that was my motivation to find a problem statement around me. So what are the different 5 Ws from where you can get problem statement and a solution out of it. So these are the 5 W's which I mentioned in my slide deck, in my book as well. So who is using the current model, right? If you want to find a solution out of it, if I say standing in a long queue of McDonald's, so who is using the current model? Who are the customers right now, right? These are the people who come and eat, or that's all, right? Who are the stakeholders of your existing product? What are the different features of the current model? It can be plus point, it can be negative point. You need to list down all the pros and cons of the current model so that you can find a new solution out of it. You can find new ideas. Okay, this is the loophole, I can fix it out, right? This is what research is all about. You research about the existing model. Then the third one, when is the right time to bring your solution to the market? Now I thought when I was standing in my library for 2 hours, I was like, okay, this is the right time to bring my software into the college in my undergrad school. And I can bring it up and students will be so much, I would say the process will be automated, right? So that was the right time when I bring it up. Then where should your solution be deployed? That's very much important. You need to find the plot. If I say you are building a software for digital, you are on school library, it's not usable when you are putting that library software in accounts department, right? That's kind of a idiotic thing. So you should know where should your solution be deployed, what are the different challenges around that plot. So you have to understand from that point of view. Why is the current model not suitable? As I have already covered in the different features, so you have to list down all the disadvantages and the loopholes of the current model. Yeah. So let's sit back and try to understand how we can write a research paper along the slide deck. So on the slide on the right bottom side, you can see some of the sections I have mentioned, abstract and introduction. And I have explained in this same flow in my book as well that you will get in the last. So wait for it. So abstract. So in abstract, you have to mention just your problem statement, motivation, and what you are bringing up, just in 1 paragraph or 2 paragraphs. That's all. Just an overview of your idea and the problem statement. That's what abstract means in research paper. Introduction. Then the second section which comes up after title, after abstract, we have introduction. So in introduction, you just explain about the concepts you are using. It can be cloud computing, it can be IoT, it can be anything. Just explain the features what you are using. Maybe it can be edge computing. Maybe it can be 5G or 6G. You have to bring up those technological concepts in front of introduction section. Then you mention kind of a scenario or example out of it. Okay, that's how I explain a scenario that I was waiting for in the long queue for McDonald's and I was waiting for my burger, and that was one of the problem statement and a scenario which I got motivation from. Then explain it in a very proper way. What are the pros and cons you are bringing it up in a very overview way, not in a very detailed way, because we have a different section. I would say different section in research paper where you can highlight in very detailed manner what are the pros and cons of your own model. Okay, so how many of you believe, I believe you all agree with this, quoted by Michael Jordan, talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence win championship. And that's what we are bringing it up to the next slide. How to choose the right team and tech stack. So let's come up to the left-hand side first, how to choose a right team. Many times in my, I would say in my undergrad school, I also faced this issue. Hey, my classmate doesn't understand about my idea. My classmate doesn't understand about my mission and vision about this idea or the product or prototype I am bringing it up for my project development, right? So you have to, you can ask these questions to you initially so that you can find a proper classmate or teammate around you. Do your member has already one of the technologies that you will need for a prototype? Let's say you are well proficient about website development, but you are not proficient about database development. You don't know about anything about it, right? So that's how you're going to choose the correct person who know database development. Maybe you know about all the technology stuff, but you are not so much proficient while presenting your idea in front of others, right? So that's how you can relate the teammates. You can find the teammates around you, right? That's how we do. And IEEE Collabratec, as we mentioned, this session is going to be supported, is going to supported by IEEE Collabratec. So IEEE Collabratec is one of the wonderful platform where IEEE as well as non-IEEE member with less benefits, I would say, can enjoy the networking. And that's what I always love to say, PVN model of IEEE. That's, you can find, you can just Google it, PVN model of IEEE, and you can find my LinkedIn article. So what is PVN? Participation, volunteering, and networking. And IEEE Collabratec is all about that. Just try to understand what are the different people around you in IEEE Collabratec, maybe in your class, in your school, or around the city or around the country to whom you are connected. The second question which you can ask yourself as a team leader, are they really interested in your vision of idea? And that's very much important. From a business point of view, from a company point of view or organization point of view, you need to understand if your teammates or your employees as an employer, are they really interested in your vision of your idea? Maybe it can be bringing up a new feature in your website, right? Maybe it can be like you are targeting a societal issue. But you need to make sure your teammates are very much clear about vision of your idea, right? And the third question, and that's one of the conflict kind of thing which we many of the people encounter this: do they really have the right personality with whom you want to work with? And that's very much important because emotional intelligence is very much important at the early stages of the student as well. Even if you are a pre-university student or an undergrad student, you need to understand about this. You need to find the people who around you who has the right personality with whom you can work with, right? The last one, do they have the soft skills to present your idea to other people? As I mentioned in the first question, so these are the skills which require to present your idea. Maybe you have a wonderful idea, you have used lot of great concepts and implemented a lot of things into your software or into your website or any other kind of product. And that the issue I faced in my first year as well. There was a tech expo going on in my university, and I was not having properly, I would say, because of the deadline, because of the less time stamp, I was not having proper time to implement my whole product and prototype. And my other teammate, other classmate was having proper things, all set up, software is working very 100%, I would say. And teachers were really impressed by the project. But the thing was, he was not able to present the idea in front of them. That's why he lose and I won that tech expo. So that's the thing. You have to find the people around you who have the correct soft skills to present your idea into other people, in front of other people. Then the right side, you can see the tech stack. So as a team leader or as a team, you need to understand what are the basic technologies required for your idea. Maybe you have to find, I would say, you need to make an Android application or iOS application. You need to have the designing part, UI, UX part. So you have to understand what are the different concepts and technologies you're going to use, right? So these are the questions what you can ask yourself as a team. The second one, do you have student or free access to those required tool for your prototype development? And I will cover one tool in the upcoming slides, which you must be aware about it, and you must have that account as well. So in universities and in many of the undergrad school across the globe, many universities offer a free access to tools like MATLAB and other kind of tools which are required for prototype development or project development, or the simulation kind of tools, right? So you have to find in your university, is your undergrad school or your school is providing that tool for free? Try to grab the opportunity. And that's what I love to say. Don't wait for the opportunity, create one opportunity, right? So find that particular resources around you so that you can understand this is the simulation tool, this is the kind of a software we can use for developing a prototype. The third one, do you have the case scenario visualized for your idea? And that's very much important. And I would say, quoted by Albert Einstein, knowledge is more, I would say imagination is more important than knowledge. So imagination, intuition, visualization, all these things around into a closed loop. You have to understand if you are building a website for a social issue, if you are building an Android application for your social issue, what are the different features you need to include? As a team, you need to understand about a case scenario. I was working on a project in my school and I was wondering, one of my professor told me, Ramnik, if you're working on this, try to understand, try to put that idea into a worse scenario. Okay, let's say I am building a ticket collector kind of a software for railway station or for kind of a bus stand in my city. So what is the worst scenario? I would put that software in front of a drunk person, right? So how that drunk person will react to your software? Will he understand about the features? Will he able to understand where to click, where to get the correct outcome out of that software or out of that website? So these are the scenarios where you can get the loopholes of your own idea, right? And the last question, many people have around the globe, like I have given a lot of webinars so far during this lockdown period, unfortunate, but many students have reached to me Okay, sir, you have explained about all this stuff, but I don't know about Python. I don't know about Java. I don't know about mathematics. I don't know about statistics. I don't know, not even, I am unaware about any concept which I am going to use. I am unaware about the technologies. Guys, internet is there. It depends upon you how you're going to use it, right? Explore and Google those technologies to learn it. There are a lot of free courses. And here I would like to highlight one more resource of IEEE. We have IEEE ILN, IEEE Learning Network. So go ahead and Google it and explore the courses which are available on different technologies there. Different societies also offer different kinds of online resources, online videos, online courses, which you can pursue and get the hands-on of those technologies and concepts properly. Okay, coming to the most important part, as I have already repeated many times, in-depth research and literature survey. So what do we mean by that? I wrote my paper, like my first research paper I wrote in my 12th grade. I was waiting for my 12th grade examination results. And I was like, I talked to one of the IITian from nearby to my home, and he was a school topper of mine. And I talked with him, hey brother, do you know about how to write a research paper? Can you please explore with your professor at IIT? And he was like, yeah, sure, why not? Then he explored about it. I used to have a good habit. I would say it's a good habit or bad habit that you decide, but it was a good habit for me because I learned to get new knowledge around me. I used to, I would say, more hours than the regular schedule of my school in the library. I used to read a lot of magazines, electronics for you, Digit magazine, and there are a lot of global magazines around the globe which are highlighting computer science and technology. Because I am a computer science graduate, that's why I'm relating that concept to it. But you can relate to your own stream. So from there, I got to know how these articles are being published, how these papers are being published in these magazines and journals. I talked with my friend, and he told, hey, it's nothing. You just need to explain your idea in a very brief way, what you are proposing. Is it already exists there? What are the pros and cons? And all the section he explained to me in my 12th grade. And I was shocked. It was so easy. And I was like, let's do it. And I have published one research paper in my local journal itself of my city. So that's how you're going to start. So literature survey include all the kind of things what you have to explore around the globe. And these are the libraries which I can refer you. You can go on to IEEE Explore Digital Library. That's one of the wonderful and favorite platform for me, where I can search about magazines, journals, papers, which are already available in the research field of my topic. You can just search the keyword or search the paper, you can find it. Then the second free resource, which is provided by Google Scholar. So the third one, Springer Library. So similarly, Springer Library and Elsewhere Library are the kind of two tools which you can use for checking out some of the papers which are already available related to your concept. And I would say when you summarize all these papers, when you read all these papers, just make a summary out of into a document and include that kind of a summarized view in a very proper way in a literature survey section. That's the third section of a research paper. I hope you are following up. So that's the most important part. And I remember when I was in my pre-final year in my BTech, and I devoted 6 months on one research paper to research it. That was an idea related to farmers in my city. So I went to a farmer in my near to my city village, and I went to them and I understood what's the problem they are facing, what are the kind of digitalization techniques I can provide them. And then I came up with all the kind of research and I put into my paper and publish it. And I'm currently working to do some kind of patenting and copywriting onto that part. So that's how you're gonna write a proper literature survey. Okay, the main important part, and I would say the last sections of the research paper left out, prototype development. I believe, and it really works out, divide and innovate together. Collaboration skills is one of the important skills what industries and companies are looking forward. I would say if you're a final year graduate, undergrad student, try to use this. I faced the same issue when I was in my final year. I talked to my head of department, sir, these people, these classmates, these friends are not able to understand what the idea I am bringing it up. They are not able to understand what I am using. They are not able to understand how I am using these commands on Cisco router and switch. I was making a private cloud for my college. So that's how, right? So I convinced him, sir, please let me go with individual team working. As of now, I will do my own project with under my guidance of my professor. But he was like, no, Ramnik, collaboration skills is very much required. Team working is very much required in industry. So try to inculcate that. So please don't repeat the mistake which I did in my final year. So divide and innovate together. So what are the different tips I would like to give you as a takeaway? The first one, cross learn. Learn from each other and cross question so that new things can be discovered. Let's say A person is asking the B person, hey, you don't know about Java. This Java software we are building, we need to include some of the software. We need to include these features which are not available. Maybe they're kind of a conflicts being erased, right? But you need to understand the conflicts, the loopholes which are being highlighted by your teammate. You need to learn from that as well, right? Try to learn from each other. That's how networking works. And IEEE is all about that, right? PBN model, as I mentioned. So network, volunteer, and participate. Then cross question so that new things can be discovered. Maybe we are in a debate and we are finding out a solution to our product or prototype. So that's the way how you can do that. The second one, the most important, I would say, these are the things what you as an undergrad student, or even if you are in a post-grad school, or you are doing a doctorate degree, try to understand about these things which are very much important. I would like to share one more story from my life, and this was a recent one, and one of my friend was asking me, Ramnik, you are like very active in IEEE, you do a lot of webinars and all those stuff, you participate in a lot of webinars to learn things, but what are the different benefits of IEEE? That's a question I always ask myself when I renew my membership in the end of the year. But try to understand. That's the thing. Collaboration is very much important. Networking is one of the top important benefits in IEEE. And IEEE Collabratec is one of the wonderful platform I have been using for many years now, since I start my membership in my second year, 2016, when I joined IEEE. And the second one is GitHub, provided by Microsoft. So you can go ahead and check out some of the open source tools, open source, I would say, codes available, open source projects which are available. I don't want to encourage you to copy and download those codes directly, but I would like to encourage you, try to find the loopholes, try to find the, I would say, the pattern, how they converted an idea into a prototype. Okay, try to relate those libraries with you. Coming with the project, Microsoft project for project management. That's also one of the most important tool you should understand, and you can explore on Google. And there are other kind of collaborative platforms you can explore. But I would encourage you to use IEEE Collabratec and GitHub, because these are the top most important platform what an student should understand about it, right? The third one, be a lifelong learner. And that's what my mathematics teacher used to say in my 10th grade when I was facing issue while solving a mathematical problem. She used to say, hey, Ramnik, you need to understand, when you come into my class, you need to blank this brain, okay? Keep it empty so that you can learn new things, okay? Try not to cross question your professor. Try not to, I would say, cross question about the things which are unrelatable to the topic going on. And try to learn, try to consume a lot of things. Once you consume, once you have a database of it, after the session, you can go ahead and try to explore about on your own, right? So be a lifelong learner. Don't be like, okay, I know about this. What you are telling, it's not right, it's not wrong. It's kind of that thing, right? The second one, be curious to solve problems, has to see them in the form of opportunities for you to innovate. And that's what I always do in my, I would say, life right now as well. I'm exploring about the problems which I am seeing right now in my workplace. I am able to see a lot of problems around me during this lockdown scenario in my city. What are the different problems citizens are facing? How I can access all these small scale businesses to the doorstep. So these are the small problems which you can highlight, right? There was one scenario, I was sitting on one of the shop, and there was one customer, I was there to buy some stuff, and there was one more customer who bought the stuff, but he forgot about it, to take it back to the home, and that was there in the shop. And I was like, I was striked about that problem statement, how we can resolve it. So I thought of creating a software, or I thought of creating an Android application linked with our universal payment interface in India, and we can link it together. We can understand, okay, that's the thing. I would say I can give a notification to the Android app of the customer, hey, you're that's kind of like Apple Wallet reminder, I guess, right? That's a new product introduced by Apple, such kind of thing, right? So these are the concepts from your academics, from your learning, you can relate to make a product or prototype from your surrounding. Coming to the research paper again, we have covered abstract, introduction, literature survey. The next part, methodology. So there you mention all about your work, what you have done, what you have studied, what you have proposed, what is your new, I would say, innovation, what you have brought up by connecting all the dots of different concepts together. Okay. My favorite way to write a paper, it's like I will explain, because my papers are related to edge computing and cloud computing. So I used to relate the things from a software layer. I would like to explain about network layer. I will explain about the physical layer, so that the researcher or the reviewer will able to understand what kind of views and what kind of point of views I can show my product in way. Okay, that's another part. Coming to the next section, pros and cons. So you can mention all the bulleted points, what are the advantages of your product and what are the limitation of your product. That's very much important, because when you do literature survey, what are the different highlights you are reading from different papers? The first thing, abstract. The second thing, check out about the introduction part. Yeah, check about the methodology part, what the researcher want to convey from their paper. Check about the limitation, what they are proposing in their current model, because innovation is everlasting, right? So if I say 4G is having problem right now in network, 5G is coming up. 5G will have some of the limitation that 6G will come. That's how the technology is increasing day by day, right? That's what. Coming to the next section, results and conclusion. So here you mention all the analysis, all the stats, what you came out of your model, simulation, or prototype you have developed. So what are the different outcomes you would like to share with the, I would say, research community, right? The last one, references. So as I mentioned in the literature survey section, you have to mention all the papers what you have cited, right? If I say I have read, I read a paper in IEEE Explore, so you have to cite that paper in your paper, right? In your research paper writing. And that particular citation you can put into the references by putting a proper citation in front of the text in literature survey or whichever section you would like to put that particular citation. Okay. Perfect. That's the, I would say, pre-final slide of our today's session. So how to secure your idea? That there's kind of a lot of scenarios like you must be thinking, hey, I have an idea. Shall I tell to that my classmates? Shall I tell to my professor? Shall I tell to my family members or all other things? Or shall I not? Right? So that's kind of thing what really comes up when we write a paper. Shall I share my paper idea to my colleague? Right? That's kind of issues which we come across. So that's the important slide, and you can Google about all these resources. And you can find all the information and the links in the free copy, which we will be providing in the upcoming slide deck, as well as in the QA tool, as well as from mail. What about securing your idea? Research paper, patent, and copyright are the top most, I would say, ways how you can secure your idea. Not fully, maybe partially, maybe fully. Depends upon which option you choose. Research paper. So we already talked about research paper a lot during the session today. There are kind of, I would say, resources available. One is IEEE Author Center, one of my top favorite portal, and they have redefined the UI, and it's so awesome. You can find out from the menu item, okay, I'm going to write a paper for journal, I'm going to write a paper for conference, so you can select appropriate category from the top, right? Go ahead and check out policies, check out the ethics of writing a paper, what are the different templates available, what are the different conferences happening around you, right? A lot of things are there on IEEE Author Center. Go ahead and explore. Right? The second one, LaTeX. So LaTeX is a kind of a coding platform. It's kind of a software where you can find a lot of templates or paper, chapter, resume, and all kind of things. You can even make a presentation out of it on LaTeX. So LaTeX is one of the software which you can use. If you don't like Word document, aligning all the pictures and all those things, and you are very, I would say, tech geeky kind of person, so feel free to use LaTeX. The third one, Springer. I already covered Springer and elsewhere. These are the libraries where you can explore about book chapters like IEEE Explore we have. Then the next one, IEEE Author Lab. So as you are in IEEE Collabratec, once you sign up on IEEE Collabratec, you will able to find this community, IEEE Author Lab. Go ahead and join that. You will able to, I would say, take a conversation, start a conversation with one of the person around the globe onto that community and try to understand what are the different, if you have any queries, go ahead. So on IEEE Author Center, LaTeX, Springer, elsewhere, you can just download the papers. You can just explore about the ethics and all those things. How to get a real-time help? IEEE Author Lab is your answer, right? Coming to the patent and copyright. So there are kind of misconception among student community, and I won't touch many detailed manner kind of thing, but you can explore on your own and from the book as well. I've cited proper URLs of these portals there as well. So it is being known, if you want to write a patent or if you want to publish a patent, these are the three main organizations which help you to secure your idea fully over the planet. The one is Intellectual Property India, then US, United States Patent and Trademark Office, then European Patent Office. So if you want to secure your idea fully, you can publish your patent and submit your filing of the patent in all these three offices together, so that you won't be kind of, I would say, afraid about that no one gonna take my idea or who gonna take it, right? So these are the three offices. And what is the platform where you can do a literature survey for patent writing? Google Patent. And obviously on IP India, US IP and European IP, you can find a lot of patents which are available to read on the abstract level. Then copyright. So copyright is kind of a very, I would say, like, it's a very one level down of the patent and one level up for the research paper. It's in the between. So copyright can be done of those things like software, literature work, painting work, or kind of artwork, right? So you can check out the proper on your own country basis, what are the different ethics and policies and procedures of filing and publishing a copyright. Okay. That's all from my side for today's session. And now we are open to the questions. But before that, let the surprise be unwrapped. That's my LinkedIn handle and Twitter handle. And that's my email ID on which you can connect me. And you can find me, my handles and all my LinkedIn profile in the post on IEEE.tv as well as in my book, last page. And with that, go ahead and download your ebook copy from the IEEE Collabratec workspace. I hope the organizer will able to share the link in the QA tool as well as in the IEEE Collabratec workspace. Go ahead and download my ebook. It's free. We are spreading it free for all the attendees who have joined us today and taken out their time. So that's all. Thank you so much for your great listening and proactive participation. With that, I would like to hand over the stage for QA session. Okay, let's see who comes up with any query. I believe there was some pre-question available on the IEEE.tv live QA tool that which format you're going to provide as the free copy. So don't worry. You can explore on IEEE USA as well. If you are an IEEE member, you can download it for free. Non-IEEE members can download for $2.99. But don't worry, you have joined us in this evening and morning. So we're going to provide you a PDF copy out of it. So you can explore it for free and you can share me the, I would say, queries or something if you want to share. And of course, on IEEE Collabratec, feel free to join us on the workspace. We have a lot of things packed up there, and we have a lot of webinars coming up. And we are sure that you're going to enjoy a lot of things. So I would like to request organizers, if there's any question on live stream, let's take it up from the chat window.
Natalie, any questions on the chat window? I do not see any. I think Natalie's muted.
Sorry. No, I don't see any questions in the chat right now, but I did send a link to Collabratec and I sent a link to the workspace where you can download the free ebook.
That's great. Thank you so much, Natalie. So guys, please go ahead and join us on the IEEE Collabratec, and I will be waiting for you all there for any questions on the book. If you want to ask any question related to idea to product and writing a research paper, there are a lot of communities available there. Feel free to enjoy PVN model of IEEE, participation, volunteering, and networking.
Okay, so if there are no questions, that was great, Ramneek. On behalf of the IEEE Collabratec team, it was an honor to host you. Thank you so much for speaking. You've given us a lot of great insights and guidance. And thank you all for joining us today. As a gift for attending, you have access to the free ebook, which can be downloaded in our mentoring workspace on Collabratec. The link is in the chat. Collabratec is open to both members and non-members. And I encourage you all to go to the workspace to continue the discussion and make connections. Thank you all for attending, and we look forward to seeing you on the next webinar in our series on October 7th. So look out on Collabratec and in your email for registration information for that. And thank you all again, and take care.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to IEEE Collabratec for inviting me out. That's really great. I would say it was really engaging and participation was really proactive. Thank you so much for inviting me out and organizing this wonderful live stream. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for participating. Have a nice day.
Thank you.